We all know the Grand Canyon, right? It's this massive, mile-deep scar that the Colorado River carved over millions of years. It's spectacular. But what if there's a story hidden inside those ancient walls? A story that's way older and, frankly, a whole lot weirder than just geology.
So let's just dive right in, because this is a wild ride. What if, deep inside that canyon, there's a lost city from an ancient civilization? According to a newspaper article from over 100 years ago, that is exactly what one explorer stumbled upon. And if it's true, well, it would basically rewrite everything we think we know about the ancient world.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1909. An explorer named G.E. Kincaid is on his own, boating down the Colorado River. He's out there looking for minerals, gold, copper, that kind of thing. But what he ends up finding is something else entirely.
So Kincaid's floating along, and he sees something weird. Some stains on the cliff face, like 2,000 feet up. Now, he's an experienced guy, he knows this canyon, and this just looks off. So he climbs up to check it out, and what he finds are not natural formations. He finds steps, hundreds of them, carved right into the sandstone. He wasn't looking at a cave, he was looking at an entrance.
He squeezes into this cavern, flashlight in hand, and right away he can see chisel marks on the walls. This was definitely man-made. But then he sees the writing, and it's not any kind of Native American script he's ever seen. According to his report, it was unmistakable. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Thousands and thousands of miles from the Nile Valley. How is that possible?
And the scale of what he supposedly found was just staggering. Kincaid described this massive, sprawling, underground city, a metropolis, really. He talked about passages laid out with perfect engineering precision, huge rooms, and even granaries that still had seeds in them, perfectly preserved. He even claimed to have found a metalworking shop with hardened copper tools. That's a technology we thought was lost to time. And a crypt just filled with rows of mummies.
Now, when you find something like this, you know it's way too big for just one person. So Kincaid did what you'd expect. He sent some of the artifacts he found, along with his notes, to the most prestigious scientific institution in the country, the Smithsonian. And you know what? They actually took it very seriously. They sent a Professor S.A. Jordan to lead a whole expedition. And this wasn't some two-bit operation either. The story goes that the Smithsonian sent a team of 40 people. 40! That's a huge investment of time and resources. It really suggests that, at least initially, they thought Kincaid's find was not only real, but incredibly important.
So now you have this whole team on site, and the discoveries just get weirder and weirder. In one of the main chambers, they supposedly find this big idol that looks a lot like Buddha. That catalogs swords made out of some unidentifiable metal, tons of tablets with more of this strange writing. And get this, all the mummies they examined turned out to be male. Every single one. It led them to think that maybe this part of the city was some kind of military barracks.
All these experts were just stumped. The writing looked kind of Egyptian, but not exactly. The statues looked sort of Asian, but again, not quite. So after studying everything, they could only come to one pretty radical conclusion. Whoever built this place was not native to America. They had to have been a colony from people who sailed across an entire ocean thousands of years ago. So Kincaid and Jordan report their findings back to Washington, D.C., and they ask for more resources to keep exploring this incredible site. And then, just silence. Crickets. The story, the evidence, and the men themselves just sort of disappeared. Think about it. After making what could be the single greatest archaeological find in all of human history, their funding gets pulled. And there are no more official records of a G.E. Kincaid or Professor S.A. Jordan ever working for the Smithsonian. It's like they and their entire underground city were just erased. So this is what we're left with, right? Two completely opposite stories. On one side, you have this incredibly detailed account printed in the newspaper describing a massive discovery. And on the other side, you have the Smithsonian, which has always said the whole thing was a complete fabrication, a work of fiction cooked up to sell more newspapers. And they haven't changed their tune one bit in over 100 years. You ask them about it today, and they are blunt. No artifacts, no records, no Kincaid, no Jordan. It never happened, period. It's a hoax. Okay, but this is where the story gets really weird today. The supposed location of this city, it's on government land now, and it's strictly off-limits to the public. Modern-day explorers who've tried to get close have reported some really strange stuff, like being watched by unmarked planes in a no-fly zone,
or even being intercepted by Apache combat helicopters. And lots of the nearby caves are sealed with steel gates, officially to protect bats. But the strangest thing of all might be the names of the rock formations right there, like Isis Temple, Tower of Set, and Horus Temple. And those names were given way back in the late 1800s. Just a coincidence?
Yeah, according to the theorists, this isn't just some isolated incident. They believe the Smithsonian has a long, hidden history of making discoveries disappear, anything that doesn't fit the official, accepted story of our past.
So, at the heart of this whole conspiracy theory is a big academic debate. Did ancient cultures travel across oceans and influence each other? That's called diffusionism. Or did they all develop totally separately, in isolation? That's isolationism. The theory claims the Smithsonian has been pushing the isolationist model for over a century and has been actively hiding any evidence, like, say, an Egyptian city in Arizona, that would prove diffusionism is true.
And the people who believe this, they point to a pattern. Giant stone coffins found in Alabama, sent to the Smithsonian and lost. Skeletons of 7 to 8 foot tall people found in the Spiro Mounds vanished. Enormous human remains, literally twice the size of a normal person, found in Alaska, collected by the Smithsonian and poof, never seen again. The story is always the same. A huge discovery is made, the Smithsonian gets involved, and the evidence just disappears. But why? I mean, why would an entire institution go to such incredible lengths to hide giants or artifacts that are out of place? Well, according to the deepest part of this theory, it's because these discoveries aren't just inconvenient. They are clues to a secret so massive, it requires hiding the true geography of the ancient world.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. The most extreme version of this entire theory claims that our history and our maps have basically been flipped upside down. They believe the Grand Canyon, with all its pyramids and hidden temples, is the real, original Egypt.
And if the Grand Canyon is the true Egypt, well, it stands to reason that the great river of North America, the Mississippi, must be the true Nile River, the cradle of that whole civilization.
So, if you follow this logic, if America is the real Egypt and the Mississippi is the real Nile, then the conclusion of this whole belief system is just staggering. North America itself, specifically the lands rich in gold stretching all the way from Alaska down to California, that is the actual biblical promised land. It's a complete flip of everything we've ever been taught.
Okay, so you're probably asking, what on earth could possibly be the proof for a claim that big? Well, the people who believe this point to one final, very peculiar clue from the Bible itself.
All right, so in the Bible, it says Noah built his ark out of something called gopher wood. According to these theorists, the only trees on the entire planet that match the description of gopher wood grow in one place, California. For them, that's not just a coincidence, it's the smoking gun. It's proof that biblical history actually happened right here in America.
So in the end, we're left with this choice. Was it all just a fantastic story made up by a newspaper, one that snowballed into a century-long conspiracy theory? Or is there a very real reason that a specific part of the Grand Canyon is a forbidden zone? It really makes you wonder, if history isn't exactly what they've told us, what else could be out there, hidden just beneath the surface, waiting to be found?